We are going to discuss the last topic of the chapter current electricity, that is heating effect of current. Already you have studied this topic in class 10. As we have discussed certain effects like chemical effects, then magnetic effect of electric current. This is heating effect of electric current. So what do you mean by heating effect of electric current? In this particular topic, we have to discuss with circuits containing resistors only. Okay, so we are considering purely resistive circuit, means a circuit which consists of only some resistors and there is a source of EMF. That means the purely resistive circuit is connected to a battery or a cell. Here what is happening is, when we switch on, the current starts to flow through the resistor, and through this resistor, when the current is flowing, the resistor is producing heat, and that effect, that means the phenomenon of production of heat in a resistor by the flow of an electric current through it is called heating effect of current. Okay. So, this is a purely resistive circuit. So, resistor only connected to a battery and a key. Okay. When we switch it on, what will happen? The current will start to flow. So, the current flows through the resistor and the resistor produces heat. Heat is also a form of energy. So how can you define heating effect of electric current? It is the phenomenon of the production of heat in a resistor by the flow of electric current through it. Okay. So it is called heating effect of electric current. Now what is the cause of heating effect? So here when we are applying a battery across this resistor, actually we are supplying or providing potential difference, isn't it, across the ends of the conductor. Clear? Potential difference across the ends of the conductor. Then what will happen when the potential difference is applied across the conductor? The free electrons get accelerated in the opposite direction of the applied field, as you know that. Because when the potential difference is applied, current is produced. Current is because of the flow of electrons. Electrons are moving from negative terminal to positive terminal. You are applying current in the direction of positive to negative. Okay. So, here the speed of the electrons does not increase beyond a constant speed. This is because during the course of their motion, while the electrons are moving opposite to the direction of electric field, what will happen? The electrons will collide frequently. Okay, the electrons will collide frequently with the positive metal ions, also between them. So the kinetic energy, the electrons are moving with which energy? Kinetic energy. The energy possessed by the electrons for its motion is kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy will be transferred. Okay. During the collision, the kinetic energy will be transferred to the metal ions and the metal ions begin to vibrate. Okay. The average kinetic energy of the ions increases. This increases the temperature of the conductor, and thus the conductor gets heated due to the flow of current. Clear? So here when you are applying potential difference, what will happen? The electrons start to accelerate in the direction opposite to direction of the field. Then during their motion they collide with each other and also with the metal ions. Collision will happen with the metal ions also. And during their movement they possess an energy. What is that energy? It is kinetic energy, isn't it? And this kinetic energy gets transferred to the metal ions in the form of heat energy. Thus the temperature will increase and thus the conductor gets heated due to the flow of current. Understand? So this is how we are explaining that when current is passed through the resistive circuit or resistor, the heat energy is produced or heat is produced, and it is known as heating effect of electric current. So this heating effect can be well explained with the help of Joule's law, that also you have studied. So let us move to the famous Joule's law. Okay, so here I am considering a purely resistive circuit. Let us consider this as A and this as B. Okay, this is the resistance of the circuit. Clear? Now, you know that when you apply a potential difference with the help of a cell or a battery, the electrons will move, or this charge has to be moved, isn't it? So, how will you define this potential difference or potential electrostatic potential? How will you define it? Is the work done to move a charge from one point to another. So it is clear that some sort of charge is moving there, isn't it? So let us first write an expression for the charge, amount of charge that flows from A to B. I can write it as Q, and Q is equal to what? I into T. You have studied in your first chapter. Q is equal to I into T, current into time. Okay. Now, you know that what is potential difference? It is V is equal to W by Q, isn't it? That is the work done to move a charge. Work done to move a charge. So I can write the expression for work done in terms of potential difference as W is equal to V into Q, isn't it? So this is the expression for work done to move a charge. That is work done to move a charge. Okay, this is amount of charge that is flowing. Clear? Now instead of Q, I can put the value IT, and this will turn to VIT. Okay, VIT. This is what? This is the work done. As you know, work is equal to energy, isn't it? Work is equal to energy, and in this case, you know that instead of flowing, there is always a resistance. So, if it has to flow, work has to be done to oppose this resistance, isn't it? So, that work is stored in the form of energy. Which energy? Heat energy. So, I can write H is equal to VIT. VIT. Also, according to Ohm's law, you know V is equal to what? IR, isn't it? So if I am substituting the value here, you will get IR into IT, which is I square RT. Okay, I square RT. Clear? Actually, this is the equation which we are using for Joule's law. Now we will be able to state the law. How can you state the law? According to this equation, we can state it as the heat produced in a resistor. I will write the law here. The heat produced in a resistor that is, the heat produced in a resistor is directly proportional to square of the current. You can see here, directly proportional to square of the current for a given resistance. Then directly proportional to resistance R. Okay, directly proportional to resistance R, and it is also directly proportional to the time for which the current flows through the resistor. T is time. Okay, so I is the current, R resistance, T is the time. Directly proportional to three quantities, where in the terms of current you can see there is a square. So you can write it as directly proportional to square of the current. Then directly proportional to resistance, and then proportional to the time for which the current flows through the resistor. Now I can again change this equation like, instead of I can write V by R, isn't it? So how does this equation change? H is equal to V by R, V into V by R T, which is V square by R into T. Isn't it? V square by R into T. Okay. So from this expression, if I am saying, I can say that it is the heat is inversely proportional to the resistance R for a given V. Heat is inversely proportional to resistance R for a given V. Understand? So for Joule's law, I would like to explain this equation only because this is commonly used one. So 3 points are there. This is the first point, directly proportional to square of current for a given R. Then again directly proportional to resistance R, and finally this one, that is directly proportional to the time for which the current flows through the resistor. Clear? This third one is based on the equation H is equal to V square by RT. This is just for your knowledge. No need to take while you are stating the Joule's law. Understand? This is for a given V. It is inversely proportional to resistance R. Generally, it is directly proportional to resistance. That is why having higher resistance means more amount of heat is produced there. Having higher resistance. If the resistance increases means heat produced is also increasing. If the current flowing increases means more amount of heat is produced. And the time, if the time is more time is taken for the flow of current and all, then we can say that heat produced is also more. Okay. So heat depends mainly on resistance, current and time. Clear? So that's all about Joule's law. So far we have discussed heating effect of electric current and also the Joule's law. Now we are moving to electric power. Okay. So electric power means what? So power means it is the rate of doing work. Rate of doing work. Or clearly we can define it as the rate at which work is done by a source of EMF in maintaining an electric current through the circuit. Okay. That is the rate at which an appliance consumes electric energy. For example, in simple words, if I am saying, there are 2 students, okay, and I have given a heavy work for them to do in a particular amount of time. And if the first student completed that particular work in 5 minutes and the second student completed the same work in 3 minutes, which one is having more power? I would say as the student who had completed his work in 3 minutes, isn't it? Because both are having the same amount of work and the time taken by both are different. That is, the first student taken 5 minutes and the second one had taken 3 minutes. So in less amount of time, more work is done, isn't it? Less amount of time, more work is done. So the second student has more power. Understand? So thus, in the same case, when you are applying in electricity, you can say that electric power means what? Electric power means actually the work done in a particular amount of time for maintaining an electric current in a circuit. How much work is done or how much energy is consumed by an appliance in a given amount of time. That is what called power. Understand? You may have seen in bulbs and all, you have seen certain numbers written there. What does it denote? We will go into its details now. So anyway, first I will write the definition for electric power. So the definition goes like this. The electric power is the rate at which an appliance consumes electric energy. The rate at which appliance consumes electric energy. As you know, energy is equal to work, isn't it? So rate at which an appliance consumes electric energy. That according to this definition I can write power is electric energy by time. Rate means what? Divided by time. And also if this energy is equal to work done by that appliance, then you can write E. Instead of E I can write W by T. So both are same for what? The quantity power. Understand? Because work is equal to energy. Clear? So electric power is the rate at which an appliance consumes electric energy, or it is defined as the rate at which work is done in maintaining an electric current in a circuit. Understand? Now, we want to find certain expressions for power. For that, I am considering a circuit in which I current flows. Okay, I current flows through a circuit for time t at a constant potential difference. Suppose, okay, you are considering a circuit, in which I current flows. Okay, I current flows for a time t. Time is t, and there is a constant potential difference V provided for that. Then what about the work done? Because you know what is work done. Work done is equal to V into Q, isn't it? You have studied that V is equal to W by Q and W equal to V into Q. Clear? Now what is Q? Q you have studied it as IT, isn't it? Q is equal to IT, and for W you can write VIT, isn't it? VIT. Now according to our definition, you can see that power is equal to work by time. Power is equal to work by time. So how can I write? Electric power P is equal to W by T. Isn't it? W by T. Then I will get the expression for VIT divided by T will give you V into I. Very important. P is equal to V into I. Okay. P is equal to V into I. Or if I am putting V is equal to I into R, we have the expression V is equal to I into R. From where? From Ohm's law, isn't it? So if I am putting there, I will get the expression as P is equal to IR into I, which is I square R. Clear? Which is I square R. Okay. Now again, if I am putting I is equal to, instead of I can put V by R, isn't it? According to Ohm's law, instead of I, what is the expression? V by R. Okay. So here if I am putting that, P is equal to in the expression VI, I can put I equal to V by R. So V into V by R will give you V squared by R. V squared by R. You understand? So these are all expressions for power. In any way numericals can be asked. So you should be aware of each and every equation. That's why I'm saying every equation here. So go through it. It's very easy. Just understand what is power. Then how will you define power. And then substitute the values that already you have with respect to Ohm's law. You have V equal to IR. So in the equation for power P equal to V into I, you have to substitute instead of V as well as I. So you will get various expressions for power. They are, first one is P is equal to V into I. Okay. Second is P equal to I squared R. And third is P equal to V squared by R. Clear? Now we will move to the unit of electric power. Again, important question for 10th as well as 12th. The SI unit of electric power. SI unit of electric power is watt. W-A-T-T. Okay. SI unit of electric power is watt. Clear? So how will you define 1 watt? How will you define 1 watt? If it is asked to define 1 watt, how will you define? You have the expression as P is equal to V into I. Isn't it? P is equal to V into I. So you can say that if V is 1 volt, clear, and I is 1 ampere. I is the electric current having unit ampere and V is potential difference having unit volt. P is what? Unit watt. Okay. So if I want to define P as 1 watt, means I have to use a potential difference of 1 volt and current of 1 ampere, so that I can define it as, how will you define? If a current of 1 ampere flows through the circuit or the appliance, on applying a potential difference of 1 volt, you will get a power of 1 watt. Okay, so an appliance having 1 watt means a current of 1 ampere should be applied with a potential difference of 1 volt. Understand? So another unit also you can use. This is SI unit. Again another unit, 1 watt is also equal to, I can write 1 watt is also equal to, you know that power is equal to work by time, isn't it? Already we have discussed that equation, power is equal to work by time. What is the unit of work? You have studied in 9th standard, that is joule, isn't it? Unit of work is joule and time is second. So I can write 1 joule by 1 second. In this way also you can define watt. 1 watt is equal to 1 joule by 1 second. Understood? Now, the higher units of power, the higher units or the bigger units of electric power are, first one is kilowatt. Kilowatt represented as kW. Okay, kilowatt. And second one is megawatt. Megawatt. 1 megawatt is equal to, I can write 10 raised to 6 watts. Okay. 1 kilowatt, I can write 10 raised to 3 watts. Clear? 10 raised to 3 watts. So these are also needed for numericals. If it is given in kilowatt, you have to convert it into watt sometimes. So you have to do it like this. 1 kilowatt equal to 1000 watt or 10 power 3 watt. 1 megawatt equal to 10 power 6 watts. Okay. Now another important question is the commercial unit of power. Commercial unit of power is horsepower. You have seen in certain heavy appliances, like appliances which take more current and all, like electric motor in your home. So in such appliances you can see a unit written there in terms of HP. Okay, it is HP. Actually it is the power of, it is the unit of power. It is a commercial unit of power, and 1 HP means 1 HP is equal to 746 watts. Understand? 1 HP equal to 746 watts. If it is 5 HP, you have to multiply 746 into 5. That much huge value. Understand? So the commercial unit of power is horsepower or denoted as HP. Okay. Now we will move to electric energy. Okay. So as already we have discussed, the work done is equal to energy, isn't it? Work done is equal to energy. As we are discussing in the terms of electricity, this energy is what? Electric energy. So how will you define it clearly? It can be defined as the total work done by the source of EMF. Source of EMF means battery or a cell. The total work done by the battery or a cell in maintaining an electric current in a circuit for a given time is called electric energy. Basically nothing. Electric energy is the work done. Okay. Electrical energy is the work done by the appliance to maintain a current in the circuit. So electric energy can be equated to work done. Okay. So in the equation, instead of W I can put what? E. So power is equal to W by T, or I can write E by T. Okay, so the expression for electrical energy in terms of power, I can write it as electrical energy is equal to power into time. Power into time. Understand? So these are all important equations as numericals are coming from this section. So electrical energy is equal to power into time. So SI unit of electrical energy, as you know, the SI unit of energy is what? Joule. You know that. So SI unit of energy is joule. When power is in watt and time in second. isn't it? So watt is the SI unit of power and second is the SI unit of time. So watt second or 1 watt second is equal to 1 joule. You can write that. Okay. So 1 joule can be expressed as 1 watt into 1 second. Understand? Now here also you have to deal with the commercial unit of electrical energy. Very important. Okay. Commercial unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour. The commercial unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour. Okay. Now listen, 1 kilowatt hour. This conversion also very important. 1 kilowatt hour. This is not in SI units, right? So you have to convert it into, this is actually the unit of what? Electrical energy. The SI unit of electrical energy is joules. So you have to convert this kilowatt hour to joules. Okay. Now joules means what? In terms of watt and second. That is, you have to convert this kilowatt into watts and hour into seconds. If it is converted to watt and second, that will be equivalent to joule. Understand? So let us do that. 1 kilowatt can be written as 1000 watts. 1000 watts into 1 hour can be written as 3600 seconds. Isn't it? That is 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watts and 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So how can you rearrange that? Listen, 36 into how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 power 5 watt second. Clear? 36 into 10 power 5 watt second. And you can see that watt into second is what? Joule. Isn't it? So here also I can write 36 into 10 power 5 joules. Or 3.6 into 10 power 6 joules. Okay, anyone you can study. 36 into 10 power 5 joules or 3.6 into 10 power 6 joules. Clear? So I can write 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 power 6 joules.